For some reason, I was strangely muted before I showed up. I do apologize, but I started with the terms. Good morning, everyone out there on the internet of today. Or is it the internet of tomorrow? I don't know. It's the future. I've had an eventful morning. I have been all over the place, and all over the net, and I am continuing this net party. Today, we are doing a tabletop review of Star Trek Adventures, the Gamma Quadrant book, which is going to probably be a pretty quick review because the Gamma Quadrant is a largely unexplored part of space, is how I'm going to put it. It was the Gamma Quadrant was only in one TV series, unlike the Alpha and the Beta. The Alpha and the Beta was in all of them for the most part, minus Voyager, because Voyager was in the Delta Quadrant, but we're not going to talk about that today. So this may be a very quick review because the Gamma Quadrant is still largely unexplored. We do have a resistance or a faction. I wouldn't call it a resistance. They're called the Dominion for a reason. So in the Gamma Quadrant, you have many different new forms of alien species. And then you also have a faction similar to the Federation of the quad, of our side of space. But instead, the faction doesn't. It forces other races to be a part of them by force, especially if they want them in their faction. So they are called the Dominion. So we're going to just dive right into this book. I'm going to show off some artwork here because, like I said before, and the unfortunate part on this book is it's very unexplored, and I can't beat that over the head enough. It is. So we're going to show off some artwork real quick, and because I do like this. This is this species here is from the Gamma Quadrant. I believe this one is too, and they are at a bar. What looks to be a Ferengi bar. Ferengi do run a lot of bars. Primarily, this one is Quark from DS9. So I do love the artwork, Modiphius. Congratulations. Once again, you've got me promoting more of your art than anything else. So this book is a must buy because it does have all of the it even has extensive history, stuff that you don't get from the TV show, stuff you do get from novels, stuff that are canon. And then, if you do get it from the TV show, it's a single episode, I think. Such as the biggest one is the early years of the Gamma Quadrant and the called the Herc War, which was around 900 years. The Dominion faced its first, main encounter 900 years prior before encountering the Federation. Because we were exploring the Gamma Quadrant because we had the ability to travel to the Gamma Quadrant. So in Star Trek, it's canonized that we can travel from the Alpha to the Beta and back because they're neighboring quadrants, and how everything is. Excuse me, I hit the mic. How everything is strategically placed. Basically, to travel from quadrant to quadrant, you have to go well over, 70 to, well over like 70,000 light years, depending on where it is. When Voyager got stuck in the Delta Quadrant, they were 70,000 light years from home, because they went from one edge of the Delta Quadrant, or they went from one edge of the galaxy to the very furthest edge of the Delta Quadrant. So, and in Star Trek, it is canonized that the galaxy is 100,000 light year radius. So they were 70,000 light years away from home, which is said at the fastest warp would still take close to 70 years, 50 to 70 years to do that. So starting off in this book, we do get the early history as well as the Dominion. We do get the founders of the Dominion. The main founders is the Vorta, and they do command the Jem'Hadar, the Jedi. They do have the Tosk. I don't think the Tosk are part of the Dominion. I think they're trying to run from the Dominion because the Dominion had forced them to be there. The Jem'Hadar are also kind of forced to be part of the Dominion and to do their bidding because of something called the Ketracel White, which is a drug that the Jem'Hadar nervous system is actually, I don't know if it's their nervous system. I know it is their bodies. The Jem'Hadar are codependent on it, and without that drug, they will die without it. I think it was proven in the TV series that that is not true. That their body would go into a drug-induced shock, but can be pulled through it, and they can survive without it. I don't know if it was deemed possible. The person who was seeking into that was Julian Bashir. So, you know, if this is not getting you interested in Star Trek Adventures, it should get you interested in DS9 because they got a lot of stuff here. And they have many more species that's part of the Dominion, but we're not going to go into all of them. I'm not going to bore you with that. You do get Dominion culture, the Golden Dream, the emblem of the Dominion. You get all the canon information on the Dominion there. And then you do actually get into what kind of territories the Dominion have. You do get into the territory covered by the Dominion. And we do get all of their worlds listed in this book as well. So if you are trying to run a game in Star Trek Adventures and you want to travel to the Gamma Quadrant, because in DS9, the only way we were able to go to the Gamma Quadrant is because in the Beta Quadrant, there was this wormhole called the Bajor wormhole, just outside of the solar system of Bajor, just neighboring it, which is where the outpost, the Federation outpost, which wasn't a Federation outpost, it was a Cardassian outpost known as Turek Nor, was renamed as Deep Space Nine. So we were able to only travel through there is because the wormhole would take a ship into it, spend 5 minutes inside the wormhole, and then they would emerge on the other side, which was tens of thousands of light years from where they were. So, and I think they did close that at the end of the series, but then they reopened it as part of being canon for Star Trek Online, the game. So I'm not really sure about that. That's something that would have to be looked into, but I'm not here for all that. I'm here to review this book. So you also get Dominion allies, such as the Cardassians became part of allies. The Breen became allies. They weren't part of the Dominion exactly. They just worked with the Dominion. And then the Sona. The Sona are my personal favorite because they did show up only in one movie of Star Trek, and that was Star Trek Insurrection with Patrick Stewart and the cast of The Next Generation. So, all right, moving on from there. We're gonna show off here. We're gonna show off some artwork here. I liked this because this never really happened in the show, so it gives you kind of like that. You got these gentlemen here are called. Oh, I forgot their names. They were also on Lower Decks, and I don't like to mention that show too much because I don't like it personally. But this guy is the Vorta. He is one of the head members of the Vorta species is part of the founding members of the Dominion, but they are second to a changeling, and these guys are Jem'Hadars. And oh man, I forgot these guys. What were the names of them? They were an annoying species. They were kind of like stupid but smart. It was weird. Like once they got their hands on, trying to think. Look it up because it's gonna bother me if I don't. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. They only made maybe I can find it here. Hang on, I found a whole list. Oh man, I don't have any pictures. I think it started with a P. Let me see here. I'm not going to spend much more on this. The Pakled. Okay, there we go. I did find it. Okay, yep. These are Paklids. So they try to get other species to put technology on their ships, and then they so-called become strong. This never happened in any part of the series, so I do like the improv artwork that they did there. Congratulations, Modiphius. You've done it once again. Man, you know what? I'm not doing a review on the game itself. I'm doing a review on Modiphius and their artwork, because they do have good artwork. These books are well worth the price that they charge. I mean, I think the Quadrant books are only $35 a piece. I spent and then $25 for the division books, and then the core book, of course, is going to be your $50-$60 one. But that's because really you only need the core book to get started. I mean, all the supplements really do is add more flavor to your campaign if you don't know ahead of time, and they do add a lot of good information and history and lore to the game as well. So we're gonna be going on down here, because we are actually almost through this book. Like I said, it is one of the smallest books because the Gamma Quadrant is largely unexplored. So, all right. So moving on from there, we do have some additional life. We do. Hang on a second. Let me get here. There we go. That's what I want. We do get some additional life paths. Most of the life path options we get are for the next generation era only. So we do get some of those. I don't think we do have additional life path options. I think they said next generation. Yeah, the Dosai. All of these races are from the next generation, strictly because really we didn't have, before the next generation, before the 24th century, we didn't have we didn't even have this part of the Quadrant even explored. Like, we didn't know Bajor until after they were like fighting a 50-year war, and that was in the 24th century, and they were fighting it 50 years before we even met them with the Cardassians. So all of these species cannot be used outside of the next generation era type sets. So, but they have many different things. They even have like something called the Wadi. Let me show you guys that a little bit. You know, they have the races for the Dominion, and they also have, or species, I should be saying species, I do apologize. They do have the species of the Dominion, and they have the species that are not part of the Dominion. This was one of the first ones that were formally introduced, was the Wadi, to the people in the Alpha Quadrant. And I don't think they knew about the Dominion, but they weren't part of the Dominion. And the same as Tosk. Tosk was another one. The Sona, I mean, they were in addition to the Dominion ranks, but not until much later. Trying to see if I can find a Dominion species real quick for you guys. I don't think we have any. The Dosai are definitely part of the Dominion. I believe they are, yes. And the Changelings are part of the Dominion. So we do have abilities so you do have the ability to play some of the Dominion races. And once again, species. If you guys remember, for those who do know Deep Space Nine, my favorite changeling is always going to be, oh man, now I'm forgetting his name, Odo. So, we do get write-ups for Dominion starships, because there's the Jem'Hadar battleship that is commanded by the Jem'Hadar. They kind of got a bug look to them. Let me show. I think I've shown off plenty of this book already, but I'm going to show off a little bit more of the art, because when you play Star Trek, I'm sorry, I play for the starship battles too, as well as the scientific discovery. So this ship right here is a Jem'Hadar battleship fighting a Galaxy class ship, which did actually happen in the series. So yep. And then we do get write-ups for a Vorta Explorer. They're actually specifically made for these kinds of species, as well as the Sona flagship. So we do, and we get, they've got so much more here from and then they even have isolytic weapons. Isolytic weapons was something that was developed inside the Gamma Quadrant, inside of the Dominion warships. So they do carry a special type of weaponry that our shields can't defend against, because we don't have that type of technology discovered in the Alpha and the Beta quadrants or in the Federation space. So, and then we do have, I think this is more fitting for history, but they do have a write-up for a USS Galaxy class starship. They do have a write-up for the USS Prometheus, which is also Prometheus class starship, because all that was part of the Dominion. They did add some, they call them, they got them named, but they do call them like starships of the Gamma Quadrant. or starships of the Dominion War. These are starships, and their names are used. These are the starships that actually fought in the Dominion War, and then in the major space battles. So, and we even have their classes right here and have their capabilities. It's kind of nice. Like I said, that's more fitting for history and lore reasons. So, and then there's the Frankenstein Fleet. After the Battle Wolf of 359 and 2367, Starfleet began a program that would provide the fleet with large numbers of new starships in case of continued Borg incursions, which we eventually used in the Dominion War as well, I believe. When constructing a Frankenstein Fleet starship, the first step is to choose the base class. Oh, this adds a new set of rules, which we have not seen in any other book. I mean, all we've seen is additional rules for the rules that were already preset. This is something additional, a new type of set of rules that you can use in addition to the other encounters, of course. So I think that's something new that the Gamma Quadrant did. Of course, the Federation had to come up with many different types of changes to their tactics because of the isolinic weaponry was just so massively powerful that our shields could not, no matter what, defend against it. That's why we came up with the USS Defiant. So, and honestly, the USS Defiant would be a perfect. The USS Defiant was the first Defiant starship that was used, and it was actually very much capable against the Dominion. And they called it I think they called it the Frankenstein ship because they had to add in so much power to it, but they also had so many issues with it because of it. It was like, oh, a brand new vehicle smell, and oh, there's a lot of issues with it. Like, for instance, if they were to use the weaponry, they wouldn't be able to use the warp core right away, and the warp core was unstable because of how small the ship was and compared to how powerful it was. So there was an unbalance of power. It kept overloading the capacitors in certain aspects where they could only fire off 6 shots of phasers. Then they could fire the torpedoes, but then they could become jammed because the torpedoes, something was about the launch bay torpedoes was a little bit more powerful than it should have been. So those capacitors and computer systems were being overloaded. They had a lot of issues. So they brought the USS Defiant to DS9 for DS9 for a crew appointed by Captain Sisko to deal with. And actually, from what I'm reading here in the Frankenstein Fleet, or the Frankenstein Rules is what they call it, they teach you how you could take maybe the warp nacelles as a secondary hull for an Berth class vessel or something like that. I mean, there's more here. I'm not going to read it out loud because then that's releasing information that I think you should buy. So I spent a little bit of time talking about that. That was kind of interesting. I've read this book from cover to cover several times. That was the first time I caught that. That might be something I'm gonna have to incorporate in my Star Trek adventure game that I'm doing in September to celebrate the release of Star Trek, which was, I believe, September 8th of 1967. Let's see. TOS pilot episode was released. Oh, it says February 1965. I don't agree with that because I have it in September for a reason. I don't know. Because the anniversary, I looked up the anniversary sometime. Oh, hang on a second. Let me check here. September 6th, 1966. Well, I got to do it on the 7th regardless. So that was when the first. Okay, so the pilot episode was February of 1965. But the first season where you had William Shatner as Captain James T. Kirk was not released until September 6th of 1966, which was, I think, a whole year later. So I'm not sure. And the pilot episode is named The Cage, but it is not counted as episode 1 of the TOS series. So maybe that's the date I'm using is September 6th. But we are hosting the game on the 7th because it's when I'm available to do it. So to finish up on my review here, We do get some, we do have a section for, of course, encounters and adversaries like we got in the past 2 books. So we get to talk about the orbs of Bajor, the wormhole of Bajor, stuff in the Gamma Quadrant, some encounter seeds that you can use to, spice up your adventure. And then we get the difference between the Jem'Hadar in the Gamma Quadrant and the Jem'Hadar in the Alpha Quadrant. So we do get to see some difference in their character write-ups there, as well as Vorta scientists and much, much more. I'm not going to go through this because I've done this for all the other I went on and on and on and all the other books, so you kind of get the idea. The books are set up the same way, just they're got different information, but they got the same format. So I gotta say thank you and bravo, Modiphius, for consistency. You are a very consistent company, and I am just gonna promote the crap out of you because you have got good artwork, good and valid information that I can confirm. You tickle my fancy. I don't know if that's too much to say on a channel on this channel, but you guys have a lot of respect for Star Trek, so thank you so much. And to wrap this up, I'm gonna show this off here. Booyah! A starship, Jem'Hadar, Vorta, and that's a changeling commanding everything. So very, very good. It is not unheard of to have more than one Vorta on the ship, but it is kind of rare because they both are second command to the changeling, and the Jem'Hadar actually worship these people. So, or they don't worship them. I'm sorry, that was too much. They are lower than the Vorta. So generally it's one changeling, one Vorta, and then a bunch of Jem'Hadar and other species around there. Generally, the show just did one changeling, one Vorta, and a whole ship of Jem'Hadar that command and that are soldiers. But in some cases, we have had one changeling with multiple Vorta and multiple Jem'Hadar. So that this picture is very well sticking true to Star Trek, and I love the artwork. The artwork is very good. So, and near the end here, we do get stories of galactic politics. I mean, just more lore, and I think that is it. Nope, I got to show off this last one because this is amazing right here as well. Once again, this artwork and this game is made by Modiphius. Please go and support them. Please buy their books. I don't own any of this. I'm just showing it off and doing a great review. And in this one here, this is an actual scene from the DS9 TV series, I feel, because you have the Romulans. This is, I know they got the pointy ears. Romulans have pointy ears too. But if you look at the indentation, that's the Romulan. If it was a Vulcan, they would have the pointy ears, but not the indentation. They share a common ancestry, but they do have a breakaway point from the Vulcans. So yeah, Vulcans and Romulans are different in some characteristics, but they are virtually they do look alike. But it's the indentation here and their attitude, because they don't have the Vulcan mindset of, logic. They are very much an emotional people. And like I said, the indentation on the forehead is the only two indications that you would have that they are Romulan and not Vulcan. Actually, many Tel Shiar, which is, like I said, you have the Tel Shiar to the Romulans is what Section 31 is to Starfleet, their special forces. Many Tel Shiar have been able to invade Vulcan society. So, and with minimal effort. And then you got a Cleon, then you got a Starfleet arguing with other Starfleet officers. This is a scene from DS9 where they were trying to hold a summit to rally against the Dominion because the Dominion was slaughtering the Federation and they were looking at losing the war. So, and I like on how you got many different color shirts because, we know in the 24th century, the red shirt is command. We got science people and we got your engineer. That is definitely Chief O'Brien. And if you don't know who Chief O'Brien is, go look him up. He's really cool. And then you got, this is a scene for the summit to hold an ally summit. At this time, there was a time that the Cleons broke away from the Federation, but then they were still allies of us. So, Modiphius, thank you so much for this book. This book is a must-buy if you definitely want to add more flavor to your game, such as the Gamma Quadrant, and you definitely want a large source of lore and information. The Star Trek Adventures Gamma Quadrant book is definitely it. And like I said, I can't say it again, and I'm going to say it again. It is a must buy. So we even have write-ups for Gul Dukat and Kai Wynn, who were famous major players in the actual TV series, as well as Wei Yun. I love Wei Yun, and I love the actor Wei Yun. He's a good actor. I cannot glorify that man enough. He is a damn good actor. So other than that, that is all that I have for today. So we do have some things coming up, and so a couple things that we are going to that I'm going to promote today is I am getting with some people. We are going to actually bring out we're going to have a summer actual play. I don't know how many sessions it's going to be. I think I'm only going to make it 3 sessions long altogether for everybody. Not everybody each, just 3 sessions. Like, I'm going to get 2 or 3 players together. We're going to host some actual plays using superheroes. So that's going to come up next on my channel, as well as I'm going to do the final. There is one more quadrant for Star Trek Adventures, and that is the Delta Quadrant. So we are going to host a review with that one. The reason why I saved that one for last is because it is my favorite. So I do have some more stuff coming up on my channel. Please stay tuned. Please leave a like and subscribe, and tell your friends. If you're into tabletop and you like what I do, please tell your friends about it, about me, and help me grow. I've grown from 42, well, actually 41 subscribers is what I started out for the week. And that's starting on Sunday. And now I have moved up to 44 subscribers. So I've got 3 new subscribers for the week, pretty much since Sunday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I got 1 for every day. Let's see if I can get some more, get up to 45. Please help my channel grow, because if my channel grows, it's going to motivate me to do this more. It's going to motivate me to see what else I can keep doing for you guys. And I do have more reviews coming up in the future. However, this is going to be my last review on my channel for the year. I will say that once I'm done with Star Trek, there will be no more tabletop reviews, I think, until next year. Please don't quote me forever on it. It is not set in stone, but I do have other plans, and I do want to promote other things. Now it's all things are tabletop related. So the catch, so I want to promote other things, but it's all tabletop related. So I'm not deviating. I'm not doing reviews. So we will be returning. I do have a plan on my schedule. Like I said, it's not set in stone. I'm changing it constantly. I do have a plan on my schedule to do reviews after the 1st of next year. So this will be my last. I call this the 3rd season. Because I did a Fate Core review, and I've done another tabletop review promoting Grim Jim and Postmortem Studios. I hope I'm not butchering the name. I did do a review of that, and now I'm doing Star Trek, but now I got other things I'm going to do, such as there are other games. I'm not going to name them right now. No spoilers today. So I do want to promote a few things before I go. I want to promote my man Tobey. He and I are getting together for a couple of things, and I will be getting with him, I think, today about that, and for sure. And then we're going to go from there, and just keep an eye on him. He's going to be surfing around channels. He is a channel surfer. He's always a third party to others. He's a good guy. So just keep an eye on him, see him around, give him props. I don't really have a Twitter link or anything, but if you guys do leave a comment on my videos, I'll make sure he gets it. So, and then I do got to promote Sparta Chris over at 540 Echo and 540 Studios. Him and I have been getting together and doing Worth It or Skip It videos. Please check those out. I will have his link in my description as well, so you can migrate over to his channel, see what we do, see if you like it. If you like it, please leave a like and subscribe as always. And then I'm going to promote the Esoteric Order of Nerdity, also known as the Witch King. He does do some of the same things that I do, but we do different games. We have been collabing and doing separate from each other ever since, but unfortunate for him, I'm going to do my own review on some of the things that he's doing because I'm getting into them. Congratulations to the Witch King. He got me into these games. I also have to send out a congratulations to a couple other people for getting me into these games. I got 2 other people I'm going to talk about here in a minute. One person who's getting me into OSR, and only, he's not the only one, but I do got to promote my man Ironcaster. I do apologize. I did not get your permission to promote you today, but I'm going to do it. If you have a problem, please let me know. I won't do it again without your permission. But I do have to promote Ironcaster because, like I said, I'm getting heavily into other tabletop games, and he is a catalyst for that. And I'm getting into OSR games, so we will be seeing some reviews on that. The Witch King, that's what I was basically telling you guys with the Witch King, is because I'm going to do some of the same reviews on, or I'm going to do a review on some of the same games he's doing because it's OSR, and I'm getting bigger with that. And it's because of the Witch King and Ironcaster that I'm doing that as well. So his link will also be in my description as a special promotion for today, as well as I will be promoting Mr. T-Shirt Historian. He's very famous. Once again, I do apologize. I didn't get permission to promote you today, Mr. T-Shirt Historian. So if you don't like my promotion, I do apologize. I got to get you out there because you are a catalyst too of why I'm getting into more OSR based games, and I am liking what I'm seeing. Hopefully, maybe I can get you on a game of Star Trek. A little side note is you don't have to know anything about Star Trek to join. I like flavor. I think it adds flavor to the game. So that's just my argument there. So his link will also be under a special promotion today as well, because I don't normally promote without permission, but I didn't get permission from Ironcaster or T-Shirt Historian. Tobey and Witch King are usually, and Spartacus are usually on the automatic list because we all work together. I've worked with Historian just on a few videos and nothing major yet, but hopefully maybe we can get in on some more things. But I do want to promote him today. Please go to his channel. He does do a weekly, I think he does 2 weekly videos. I know one is the Week in Geek on Saturdays, and he does, we did do one of the Dungeon Discussions, I believe it was called, on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. I believe it is, well, I think it's 9 a.m. his time, because he's in a different time zone from me. So just go to his channel. Please leave a like, subscribe if you like what you see. I got to promote the crap out of him. He's a good guy. And speaking of good people, I've saved the, I don't want to make anyone jealous by saying I saved the best for last, but Mr. Jace Fox at 540 Studios, I don't really know where to go with this one. He does a lot of my editing. He's a good guy. He has a lot of good discussions on his channel. They do hit a lot of good points. His link will be in my description as well. Please go to his channel, leave a like and subscribe. There's a lot of good things over there. And as I stated before, he does a lot of my editing. So I give the guy the best props that I can. And hopefully I don't make anyone jealous, but everyone helps me out. I don't know where else to go. You know what? Foot in the mouth before we get any further. So that is all that I had today. Well, that wraps up our review. This is Tabletop Junkie giving his famous tabletop salute. Guys, work hard. After that, I hope you play hard and I hope you game hard, because you have to have that downtime. There has to be a balance between life and relaxation. So I hope everyone is getting that. Please spread the love to your neighbors. Your neighbors could use some love too. I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that are having a downtime. Tell someone today, hey, we've been friends for X amount of years. I love you, man. There's nothing wrong with 2 heterosexual men saying I love you. Same with women, same with everybody. Spread the love. We are the same. We are equal. We are one of the same. Or at least we're part of the same species. That's why I like science fiction. It promotes the fact that there might be something bigger than us out there, and we should always stay united and not against each other. So please spread the love to one another. Tell a friend, I love you. There's nothing wrong with it. I do that all the time, and it's just telling that friend, reassuring that friend that I'm here for you. So other than that, that is all I have. This is my salute. Game on, everybody. Have a great gaming week. Enjoy your day. And this time I'm going to do my normal ending. I had some technical issues yesterday, but they've been resolved. Here we go.